Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Falak Khan, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry magnate on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Sivasis Dey. He is a visionary leader with a robust track record in business leadership and advisory roles within the oil and gas sector. His expertise extends across both domestic and international markets, where he has demonstrated a remarkable ability to drive innovation, transform businesses, and achieve substantial growth. His professional journey is marked by successful tenures at Indian Oil Corporation, IOCL, and his advisory role at Samridhi Highway Solutions Private Limited. He has been a board member, an executive director at Indian Oil Corporation Limited, that is IOCL, and a non-executive director at Indian Oil Mauritius Limited, that is IOML. Currently, he is giving his invaluable services as a sector consultant, downstream oil and gas at the State Bank of India, that is SBI. We are glad to have you here today with us on FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Dey.
Thank you, Falak, for your very generous intro you gave. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And I'm very, very happy to join this particular program. As you rightly said, that this platform will bring all the like-minded business magnates into one forum, sharing their thoughts, their experiences, and the best practices they follow in the different industries. So amazing. I think this is an amazing initiative. Thank you, Falak.
Thank you so much, sir. So I want to know, like, Mr. Dey, could you let our viewers know in brief about your career journey so far?
I'm a mechanical engineer, and I studied from one of the NITs, NIT Durgapur. And after completing my mechanical engineering, I joined Indian Oil Corporation, as you said. And as you know, this is the biggest commercial organization in India and is a Fortune 500 company. And it's one of the good companies and to work with. So I joined as a management trainee, and slowly I, through different postings in different parts of the country, had the taste of different departments, like, you know, aviation, fuel marketing, then HR, then institutional business, then retail marketing, and branding, and so on and so forth. And ultimately, I superannuated as executive director, automation, in the marketing division of Indian Oil. So in between, I also had a stint as a board member in Indian Oil Mauritius Limited, Port Louis, Mauritius, and during the journey of in Indian Oil, I also did my post-graduation certificate in marketing management from IIM Bangalore. I am a keen golfer of other than my professional interests and music.
So that's really very interesting to know indeed. So I want to know, like, what are some of the biggest milestones you have achieved in your career?
Well, you know, my journey in Indian Oil was very, very interesting as well as very challenging. I had very interesting role plays in the form of leadership positions and some strategic positions as well. One of the most critical milestones I can think of at this point of time, we had around 27,000 gas stations all over India. And we could automate this 27,000 plus gas stations in a period of just 2.5 years. And these gas stations are all spread out across the country, right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, right from to Port Blair. So we had a very tough time, in organizing the equipments, the manpower, but it was actually a Herculean task. But with the support of the different team members, we could engage effectively and we could automate all these gas stations. So by doing this, we could have online, we could have a sense of how these gas stations were functioning. Sitting in the Bombay office, we could actually know how these gas stations were performing. It helped us, in generating a lot of data and analytics through which we could take major business decisions. Certain strategies we could work out. At some point of time, the sales campaigns we could organize. So automating this gas stations really helped us in our business process. And I think one of the milestones was this. And then for around 5 years, I was heading the retail strategy and development group of Indian Oil Marketing Division. So that was a real challenge because, as you know, the oil companies were all public sector oil companies. But later, the private oil companies also came in the form of Reliance, SR, Shell. So that was a very challenging task, working out the retail strategies and business development plans. And by doing this, I'm very happy to share that for 3 consecutive years, we improved our market share on an all India basis in gasoline. So that was another milestone we could think of. And one more which comes to my mind, it's the retail transformation project, which we coordinated along with BCG consultants in bringing about a radical transformation in our retail services. So that, I think, was another significant milestone.
That's really very great to know indeed. So as a business leader yourself, what do you believe are indispensable qualities every leader should possess?
Wow. I think if you have to jot down or speak about the qualities of a business leader, it can go in pages and you can become a bestseller. But to me, I think it is how we perceive and how we acknowledge the qualities of a business leader. I think one classic example I can think at this point of time is our Indian captain, Kapil Dev, who brought the World Cup to India in 1983. See, the Indian team was not very great compared to the West Indies team or England or Australia. But what happened was that as a leader, Kapil ji, he could rally his entire team behind him. The goals were very clear, and what we saw was that entire team worked with him, rallied behind him, and brought the cup to India. So, and he led from the front. So basically, you know what to me is a business leader is one who can engage the team towards the organization's goals and can actually influence the team to achieve the objectives of the organization in a nutshell.
So since you have spent over decades in retail marketing in the oil industry, what are some of the most decisive steps you have taken in brand management?
Before I say that, I will take you a bit about the history of petroleum marketing in India. As you know, that initially it was the private companies who were there in India. But in 1974 and 75, when the oil companies were nationalized, there were basically three oil companies which came into the forefront. That was Bharat Petroleum, Hindustan Petroleum, and later on Indian Oil Corporation. So the marketing was very traditional in nature. It was basically a sort of supply of products rather than marketing. But come 2000 March, there was a liberal policy of the government, which allowed private companies also to retail automobile fuels with certain investments. So then came this Reliance and SR and Shell. So with this private oil companies coming and joining the retail marketing fray, the competition actually started growing up. The government oil companies started taking interest in modernizing their petrol stations. And that was a time when the branding in petroleum industry started. It, right from product branding to retail station branding. Like Indian Oil Corporation came up with petrol which was branded at extra premium. And Bharat Petroleum came up with speed. And Hindustan Petroleum came out with gasoline which was power. So the branding started taking place. Other than this, the oil companies also started positioning their brands in terms of convenience. In the urban market, Indian Oil started talking about extra care retail stations. Bharat Petroleum also started a brand, and HPC also started the club HPC. Yeah, Bharat Petroleum started Pure for Sure, giving the message to the customers that the products and services are differentiated. Then came, the branding in terms of the markets. In highway markets, large format petrol stations were commissioned. Bharat Petroleum came up with, ghar outlets, where you have, other than fueling facilities, non-fueling facilities, dhaba, restaurant, big format petrol stations on the highways, and they called it Swagat, and introduced, branded diesel, which can give a higher mileage. So the branding shifted from product to facilities, and even then pricing. The branded products were differently priced. So this was the advent of branding in petroleum marketing companies when this private oil companies joined the competition. But it only helped the customers, because customers started getting the best of the products and services.
That's wonderful. So when we talk about ESG, as an ESG and corporate governance expert with prior board experience, what values do you bring to the table?
Well, as a board, we always insist that we want to drive our business process while protecting the customers, the community, and the environment. And caring for the environment, the people, the community, and at the same time having the most ethical business process. We always advocate it. And oil companies, in different oil companies are, having their different points of view. But overall, all the oil companies are very much focused on the ESG factors. Call it the refinery installations. They have the latest gadgets to control the emissions. They have the latest technology to prevent waste effluents from going into the atmosphere and to the nature directly. In the marketing framework, the oil companies are coming up with very environmental friendly products. You must be knowing that India is moving towards a gas-based economy. By 2030, we are targeting to convert 15% of our energy to as gas. Gas will become 15% of the primary energy basket. So the focus is on green fuels like CNG, compressed natural gas, which is more eco-friendly than your diesel. Then you have compressed biogas, which is a completely green fuel. You have LNG, liquefied natural gas. We are trying to have a pilot now, which will be fueling the trucks which are plying on long distance tours. So all these are happening towards preventing pollution coming in and improving the environmental process.
That's there. So as you know, like technology is growing day by day. So like, what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology? And what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, and Web 3.0?
Yeah, as in other industry, technology has started playing a lead role in the oil industry as well. As I was saying that, presently all our systems are being automated. And there's a lot of use of IoT and analytics to improve our business process. Like safety is one of the important features in oil industry, and there IoT plays a huge role in identifying hazardous situations which can lead to unsafe conditions in the industry. Then analytics, video analytics, video analytics we are trying to use to understand the customer emotions by reading facial expressions of customers. Actually, we did a pilot, in Bombay, trying to read the customer emotions at the forecourt of a petrol station, and take out exceptional face readings to see whether a customer is satisfied or in case customer is dissatisfied. So then one of the most important things that is happening is, preventive analytics. which can predict failure of machines and equipments in advance. So by doing that, we are actually able to reduce the downtime and reduce dislocation of services. So in a way, technology is playing a very, very important role in oil and gas industry as of present.
Yes, indeed. So as you know, we are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about this initiative taken about by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Hemal Mehta, and the whole World Development Corporation team?
I think it's an amazing initiative Mr. Pathan and Mr. Mehta has taken. This gives an opportunity to the people and to the industry leaders to exchange and share their thoughts, their information, their initiatives, their industry practices, best industry practices, which can be emulated by other industry members. And recently I wrote an article on the COVID effects on oil and gas projects in India. So if you see that the the pandemic affected the projects in a very, very big way. The projects have been delayed with the commissioning date, getting delayed by almost 1 to 2 years. It's not only time overrun, but at the same time, there is cost overrun as well. So though this is oil and gas industry specific, but I think the COVID pandemic had its effect in other projects of other industries as well. So it is indeed a fabulous initiative. I think we'll all stand to gain, and it is actually a win-win situation for all the business leaders.
Yes, thank you for these really kind words, I must say. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Sivasis Dey. We wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds. Thank you so much for sharing all your wonderful values, principles, and your career journey with us so far. I'm sure, like everyone watching this, it is going to help them grow in their careers too.
Thank you, Falak. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.